One of my favorite stories in the Bible is the parable of the hidden treasure. Jesus said the kingdom of heaven is like a treasure hidden in a field. When a man found it, he hid it again, and then in his joy went and sold all he had and bought that field. What I like about this little story of analogy is that it goes totally against what we think about God today. We don't see following God as valuable. We think money, pleasure, and possessions are way more important than following Him. The only two benefits we have for God is when we're in trouble and getting to heaven. We want to do just enough religious things to keep that option open. We don't want to end up in that bad place that He talked about. We don't say it, but by the way we live, we want just enough of God to get to heaven, but not so much that we can't party with our friends and be like everyone else. We want to do whatever we want. But this story is talking about something different. This story is telling us what finding God is supposed to really be like. It's supposed to be something of great value. So valuable that you would be willing to give up anything, sell anything to get it. You may not know this, but God's goal for humans is not for you to do religious things without Him. That always is empty and doesn't work. God's plan, the treasure that He's talking about here, is that He wants to live in us by His Spirit. We become the place where God lives by His Spirit. That experience brings life. And this is eternal life, that you might know me, Jesus Christ, God's own Son. The treasure comes from His presence. It brings joy, peace, comfort, and power. His Spirit teaches, guides, leads, and gives wisdom, and gives us purpose in life. This relationship with Him is very valuable. The thing about God is this: when you really start to seek Him, you find Him. He starts to talk back. Things start to happen. He starts to reveal Himself to us. When that happens, we are confronted with a very big decision. What are we going to do about it? We all have these brief encounters with God, but to keep the spiritual life in us alive, it takes more than just going to church. It takes more than just keeping a few rules. The Spirit-filled life takes effort. To know God, you're going to have to spend time with His Spirit. You have to seek His face. You need to be willing to listen. You have to be willing to obey. You will have to be willing to give up on lust, greed, complaining, revenge, and bitterness. You will have to be willing to live by truth and not how you feel. You will have to be willing to give up control over your life. The reason some people find this treasure and others do not has to do with a simple fact. Some people are willing to give up everything, do anything to keep what they have found in God alive in them. Others are not. It's just that simple. Jesus said, "The kingdom of heaven is like a treasure hidden in a field." When a man found this life, in his joy he went and sold everything he had to keep it. If you want to have the life that God promised you, you can have it. His grace is free, but it's not cheap. To have the life that He offers, it's going to cost you everything.